Hello and welcome back to Sumayya's English Classroom. Today in this video we are going to learn another chapter, a beautiful chapter, 100 Dresses 1. Let me ask in the beginning, have you heard appearance is always deceptive? What's the meaning of it? Yeah, the meaning is we have a tendency to judge a person by their appearance or by their wealth or possession. Some people are so serious in their looks, so we come to the conclusion that they are very cruel and they are not good persons. But we have to judge other persons not by their wealth, appearance or dressing style or wealth, but by their values and behavior and the beautiful conduct, like that. Have you read this novel, Heidi, written by a well-known Swiss author, Johanna Spyri? Okay, in that novel, we will see a little girl, her name was Heidi. Okay, she was an orphan and she was sent to her grandfather, Alp. His name was Alp. Okay, he rarely spoke to the people in the village. He never went to the church. So people thought that he was very cruel or he was not a friendly person. But later we have seen in the novel this Alps, okay, this grandfather was very lovable person. So my dear students, we mustn't judge any person by their appearance, by their position or by their dressing style. We must judge others by their values and qualities and good action. In this video, we are going to learn a beautiful chapter, 100 Dresses 1. In that, we will see an innocent Polish girl. Her name was Vanda Petronsky. Okay, let's go to the chapter in detail. Eleanor Estes was an American author who has written many novels in this genre of children's fiction. In this chapter, we will see Vanda Petronsky. She was a poor, sensitive girl. Then she was ill-treated. Okay, she was judged by her American classmates. Now we are going to learn this chapter in detail with all explanations. Okay, let's get started. Here in this story, we will see a girl, Polish girl. Her name is Vanda Petronsky. She was a young Polish girl who goes to school with other American children in an American town. She is mocked by other American students. Let's see the historical background of the story. The Polish people migrated from Poland to America in the early 20th century. As Polish state did not exist at that time, the immigrants were identified as Russian Poles, German Poles, and Austrian Poles. These Polish Americans were discriminated against in the United States as Jews were discriminated in Holland. The Polish girl, Vanda Petronsky, is subjected to everyday humiliation for being different in terms of funny name, accent, unusually dressed, etc. Who are the characters in the story? Vanda Petronsky, she was a young Polish girl, and Peggy and Madeline. Madeline is known as Maddie among her friends. Then they were classmates. Then Miss Mason, that was their teacher. Okay, now let's go to the story. On Monday, Vanda was absent in the class. Vanda sat in the seat next to the last seat in the last row in room number 13. The rough and noisy boys who were not good at studying sat in that corner of the room. That corner was so dirty and muddy. They would make sound with scuffling of feet and they disturbed the class, laughing loudly. Vanda was not such a child. She was very quiet and silent. She twisted her mouth in a crooked sort of smile. She doesn't like to mess with anybody. Then why was she sitting there? no one knows. She sits isolated from the main group of girls. Where in the classroom does Vanda sit and why? Yes, she was coming from Boggins Heights. Vanda lived in Boggins Heights. It was that part of the city or town where poor people lived and the place was full of mud. The fact that her shoes are covered in mud, it gives an idea that Boggins Heights is not a developed area. A group of students would wait for Vanda to have fun with her. The group was led by Peggy, her American classmate. On Tuesday also Vanda was absent. Okay, we have seen that on Monday she was absent. Then on Tuesday, the next day also she was absent. But nobody noticed. But on Wednesday, Peggy and Maddie noticed the absence of Vanda. Okay, who was Peggy? How was she in the classroom? Peggy was the popular girl in school. She was good at studies. She was pretty with curly hair. She had many pretty clothes. Then who was Maddie? Maddie was her best friend, but she was from a poor family. Peggy and Maddie noticed Vanda's absence after 3 days. That's on Wednesday. They finally noticed her absence because Vanda had got them late for school because they had waited for her in order to have some fun with her. But she didn't turn up. What's meant by to have fun with her? Yes, in this context, to have fun with her means Peggy and Maddie would have made fun of Vanda and teased her for their own pleasure. It means that they would have had fun at Vanda's expense. How did they mock her? Peggy would ask her how many dresses she had in her closet. Closet means wardrobe or shelf in the room. Okay. Then Vanda would say that she had 100 dresses that were silky and in different beautiful colors and lined up in the closet. Also, she would say that she had 60 pairs of shoes in different colors in her closet. This was a routine to Peggy to ask the same question to Vanda every day. Vanda would have the same answer. Actually, Peggy and the team was mocking her, asking the same question every day. Vanda was different from other children. She didn't have any friends. She came to school alone and went home alone. She always wore a faded blue dress that did not fit her properly. Unlike other children, she did not talk to anybody. She had a name and surname, Vanda Petonsky, that was different when compared to the other easy names of the children in her class. When she watched the little girls playing hopscotch, other girls surrounded her to have fun with her. Actually, this Peggy was not really a cruel girl. In fact, she protected some small children from bullies. She was a sensitive girl. She cried for hours if she saw an animal mistreated. She asked Vanda questions about her dress and shoes, but her intentions were not bad. She simply wanted to have some fun. She was the most popular girl in the class, and also we know that she was a pretty girl. Though Maddie was her best friend, she was so embarrassed by this question. Okay, that is the dress game invented by Peggy. Why? Because this Maddie usually wore old clothes which were handed down by Peggy, whose dress was altered by Maddie's mother. The only difference was that she didn't live upon Boggins Heights and she didn't have a funny name like Vanda. She didn't feel sorry for Vanda. She was worried that perhaps later everyone would start teasing and pick on her too because she was also from a poor family. That's why she was so afraid, and at the same time she feels embarrassed. When this game was going on, Maddie always stood by and never did anything, as she was afraid that if she did, she would be the next target of the children. She was not as poor as Vanda, but she was poor. She had more sense than to claim that she had 100 dresses. She hoped Peggy would stop teasing Vanda. So Maddie tried to tell Peggy to stop teasing Vanda by writing a note to her. She knew she would never have the courage to speak to Peggy about this matter. That's why she decided to write a note. As she was writing the note, she pictured herself in the schoolyard as a new target for Peggy and the girls like Vanda. She thought Peggy might ask her where she got the dress she had on, and she would have to say that it was one of Peggy's old ones. This is what she was afraid of. Consequently, she ended up tearing the note. She didn't write it. The next day, Peggy and Maddie hurried to school as they didn't wait for Vanda on the corner of Oliver Street on the railroad tracks that led to Boggins Heights. Because that day, drawing and coloring contest winners would be announced. For girls, it's dress designing competition, and for boys, it's motorboats designing competition. Peggy was the winner always, so she was very confident to win this time. Maddie thought that Peggy would win the drawing contest because Peggy drew better than anyone else. She could copy a picture in a magazine or some film star's face so well that one could tell who it was. So when they entered the classroom, they were shocked to see drawings all over the room. They were all drawn on sheets of wrapping paper. They were 100 drawings in total. Miss Mason, their teacher, came to the class and announced the winners. Jack Biggles won the boys' contest. Vanda Petronsky was the winner of the girls' medal. She had drawn 100 dresses, which were dazzling with colors and had brilliant and lavish designs. They were all drawn in great sheets of wrapping paper. They were all different from each other and all beautiful. The judges said that any one of the drawings was worthy of winning the prize. So, where is our Vanda at that time? No, she is not there. She is absent. Miss Mason said that room number 13 should be proud of Vanda, as she had drawn 100 designs of dresses, all of which were beautiful and different. She was very happy to announce Vanda as the winner of girls' medal. As Vanda was absent that day, Miss Mason hoped that she would be back the next day. She then asked the entire class to look at Vanda's exquisite drawings. After Miss Mason had announced that Vanda was the winner, they burst into applause. And even the boys were glad to have a chance to stamp on the floor and whistle. Later, Peggy and Vanda recognized the designs as those which Vanda had described to them. Always she was telling she had 100 dresses in her closet, all lined up in the closet. And in the end, Peggy exclaimed. She was so exclaimed to see the beautiful designs. And I thought I could draw. I thought she said that she thought she could only draw. This shows that she also realized how good Vanda's drawings were. This is the explanation of the chapter. Okay. Now let's see the theme of this story. The 100 Dresses is a beautiful story. It's based on the theme of discrimination, judgmental attitude people have for people around us. In this story, we see Vanda Petronsky being judged for her unique name and qualities. She was made fun of by Peggy, Madeline, and other girls, but Vanda never reacted to it. Now let's go to the exam halls with 5 questions. Okay, first one, compare and contrast two friends Peggy and Maddie. Why couldn't Maddie stop Peggy from teasing Vanda Petronsky? Second is, why did Peggy tease Vanda Petronsky with uncomfortable and embarrassing questions about her 100 dresses? Was she really cruel? Describe the scene where Vanda's dress drawings were displayed. Who won the drawing contest for the girls? When did Peggy and Maddie notice Vanda's absence from school? What do you know about Maddie? Now we have gone through the theme and the exam halls with 5 questions. Okay, you write the answers in the comment box. Don't forget. I hope that my video was so helpful to understand this chapter well. If you love this channel, subscribe to my channel and enable the bell icon to get more notifications. See you soon in the next video. Bye.